The kids had felt a desperate need to connect from 11 p.m. to midnight every night of the past week. I was up late to meet a deadline, and in a cruel twist of fate, I had foolishly decided to give up caffeine, for my health. And somehow, in the midst of all of this, here I was headed to a horse show at 5 a.m. Saturday morning.
Welcome to The Resilient Reiner, the premier podcast focused on mental performance for equestrians and improved horse show performance. Whether you're a rookie reiner or a seasoned competitor, this show is for riders who want to take their skills to the next level and achieve their full potential in the show ring. I'm Nicole Burnett, and I'm a master mindset coach who's obsessed with helping you achieve all those horse dreams you always thought were impossible. Join me each week to develop a show-ready mindset and gain the competitive edge you need to compete with confidence.
Welcome back, guys. I'm your host, Nicole Burnett, and I am so pleased to welcome you back. Traveling a little bit this week, and the traveling along with the discomfort that comes with that from being out of your element, from not being at home, not sleeping in your own bed, having your routines get thrown off. It made me think about all these things that I learned from a year of just waking up at 4 a.m. and why you aren't stressed enough in your life. Okay, so let me back up for you guys. Like I said, the kids had felt a desperate need to connect from 11 p.m. to midnight, like every night that week. I was up late to meet a deadline, and in a cruel twist of fate, I had foolishly decided to give up caffeine, for my health. And somehow in the midst of all of this, here I was headed to a horse show at 5 a.m. Saturday morning. Well, of course, most of the competitors at this event, they had shown up the night before to get their horses settled in and to get a full night's sleep at the local hotel. Me, I like to live on the edge, right? No, but really, sometimes we have to balance our love of horses with the love of our family and demands at work and on the home front. And sometimes that means that we can be there on Saturday, but we just can't get there on Friday. It's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And anyway, I didn't love it, but that entire show season, that was how I did it. I'd pack the trailer a week ahead and I just head out with the dawn. The no caffeine thing didn't last though. So what did I learn from a year of stressing myself out just for funsies? Well, waking myself up at 4 a.m. to do this thing that was supposed to be fun, right? Supposed to be fun, but it didn't always feel like it. What did I learn from purposefully doing things tired? Going to all new arenas with a new horse. I was doing this with a new horse, having no idea what I was doing and not getting to see the patterns early. Full disclosure, I am someone who loves routine. Like, I really love it. I've literally, outing myself here, I've literally used Excel spreadsheets to plan out my day in 15-minute increments and plan out my life. So it was a great disappointment to me and a frustration when I realized as a parent, because I've always wanted to kind of find the perfect schedule, right, that I could use for the rest of my life. And so it was a really big disappointment and frustrating when I realized that I would need to redo my schedule, kind of what I did maybe at certain times of the day, what I did on different days of the week, approximately every 3 months for the rest of my life. Because life is always changing, all right? It's always changing. There's no set it and forget it routine. So I love to optimize, and I love to do the right thing or the best thing for however I've decided that. And it's been a process for me to learn to embrace change, to learn to embrace stress. And what about you? Do you embrace stress, or do you just run the other way. So in today's podcast, I really want to get into this. I want to share about the comfort zone trap and about the role of stress in growth and why it's so crucial to stress yourself out. Yes, I mean on purpose. Why should you embrace discomfort? All right. So let's chat. So the comfort zone trap. Okay, I want to just chat about what is the comfort zone trap? Why should we care about it as writers? Okay, let's define what I mean. So the comfort zone trap, this is like a state of mind. So it's a psychological state where you feel safe, you're comfortable, can feel really cozy. Like it's not always bad, but you're just going to feel really safe and cozy. You're not going to be feeling very challenged by your surroundings, challenged by the activities that you're doing. So as writers, this means things like our familiar routines, the skills that you and your horse are really good at, and the environments where you feel at ease and in control, right? So that probably means that you feel the most comfortable in your home arena. And that can be the pasture out in your backyard or the indoor where you board. But it's, when you're home based, you probably feel the most comfortable. This could also be like if you're a trail rider, this could be the trails that you know the best, the trails that you ride the most. It might even be arenas that you compete at the most, right? Where you have a certain amount of comfort. It might be related to as well if you find yourself avoiding activities that feel intimidating, things that are unfamiliar to you. And so while staying within your comfort zone, this can provide some security. This also can hinder your growth and your progress when it comes to building your writing skills and your confidence. When you stay within your comfort zone, you're obviously you can't be in your comfort zone and also be exposed to new experiences, be exposed to new challenges, learning opportunities, right? And so without literally venturing beyond familiar territory, because as writers, this can be very physical as well, you're going to miss out on the chance to expand your skills, overcome your fears, develop your resilience. When you stay in your comfort zone all the time, you're going to get a little complacent. And you're going to end up just plateauing in your abilities. And that means that you're not going to be able to reach your full potential. You cannot stay in that comfort zone and reach your full potential. It just doesn't work like that. And the insidious thing about this, though, is that even though it can feel really comfy and cozy, that over time, staying in your comfort zone, this can lead to boredom, to frustration, to even a lack of motivation to improve, which can seem kind of counterintuitive, but you just end up kind of complacent and a little bored and frustrated. And so as adults, even that happens. I see it in my kids sometimes where everything is good, but they're inside and then they just start poking at each other because that's kind of what kids do. They just want to poke at each other instead of having a challenge to do something. And we do that as adults, right? Things are fine, but you just get kind of bored and frustrated and you're like, why? So as a writer, again, what this might look like might be always going on the same trails, always riding in the same arenas. Maybe you avoid doing any cross training. If you're a reiner, maybe you don't ever go to a ranch riding show over the winter or just whenever. And that's just kind of when that's rooted in a fear of failure, in the discomfort. I mean, for example, as reiners, we don't do long trot, that you would do in ranch riding. And so it can be uncomfortable. Or maybe it's just sticking to the familiar horse or horses that you always ride instead of ever trying a new horse. Maybe you resist feedback or instruction. Let's say you take a lesson and your trainer says, you need to work on this thing, try this new exercise, or we're going to work on this. When it pushes you out of your comfort zone, you can resist that. And you're settling here for mediocrity instead of striving for excellence. So, sounds terrible, right? I mean, it's comfy. They're like golden handcuffs here. So recognizing it. This is the huge first step to overcoming the comfort zone trap. You have to recognize that the comfort zone is a thing, and you have to recognize that it has limitations. It's not always bad. I mean, I know that I am very comfortable riding at home. I know that my horse feels comfy. So if we're struggling with something, I did this recently. He just got a little sticky on one lead, and I was like, we need to spend a couple days at home where it's just everything is a little more low stress, low pressure to get through this. So you can use it to your advantage if there's something you're trying to work on or improve and you need that kind of extra grace, use it to your advantage. But you have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to embrace new challenges. You have to be willing to push your boundaries. Pushing your boundaries is how you're going to expand your skills and you're going to grow your confidence in the saddle. So just know that, again, we got to acknowledge that the comfort zone is cozy, but it has its limitations, all right? And just by actively seeking out new experiences, by setting ambitious goals for yourself and embracing discomfort as a catalyst for growth, this is how we as riders, we can break free from the constraints of this comfort zone and just unlock our full potential. So I said I was going to talk about the role of stress and growth. So I want to touch on this idea of positive stress and negative stress and how stressors in riding can lead to growth and improvement. All right. So there's a thing called positive stress and negative stress. And positive stress, also known as eustress, this is a beneficial form of stress that helps us. And this is a kind of stress that would motivate you to perform at your best and adapt to new challenges. If I were to describe it, you're thinking of things like if you have feelings of excitement, anticipation, you're raring to go, right? And in contrast to your negative stress, this is what, a lot of times what we think of is that distress. It's a harmful stress. It's overwhelming and it impacts and negatively impairs your ability to function effectively. All right. So we're talking about feelings of anxiety, fear, pressure, it's shutting you down, not pushing you to grow. So as riders, when we're working with our horses, we're learning new skills. Learning new skills is a stressor, okay? Competing in events, that's a stressor. Unfamiliar terrain, new arena, new trail, all of this stuff, all of these stressors, they can elicit in you both positive and negative stress. And so the positive stressors, this is going to challenge you to push your limits, overcome obstacles, and just develop your resilience. So, for example, when you enter a challenging competition, you might initially have some feelings of nerves, some nervousness, some apprehension. Absolutely. This is that eustress. But so you're having some apprehension, you're a little nervous, but this ultimately leads to feelings of personal growth. You're developing your skills. You come away with a sense of accomplishment. That's positive stress, right? It's pushing you to grow. But negative stress, so let's say you're going to have distress if you fall or if you have a dangerous situation with your horse. These are big ones for riders where it just triggers that distress. And so that is absolutely going to hinder your performance if you don't manage that well. So the cool thing though here that is really cool is that even negative stressors can still provide really valuable learning experiences and opportunities for growth if you can approach them with a positive mindset and some effective coping strategies. I think that is just the coolest thing of all is that even stressors that might start out as being negative stressors, they don't have to be stuck there. And I think that is so empowering to know and to remind ourselves of that just because even if you fall off your horse, even if something happens, it's not set in stone that it has to be a negative experience that causes you distress forever and that you can't learn from it. I think that is so empowering when you realize that. Okay, so basically embracing challenges and pushing past comfort zones, this is essential for riders to unlock your full potential and achieve your goals, okay? And when you expose yourself to new experiences, you just gotta try new things. I like to just think of what are fun things I wanna do with my horse. Like, you don't have to overthink it, right? You can expand your skill set. It builds confidence. It builds mental toughness. Just have fun with your horse. Is there a show that you're a little bit scared to enter? Have fun. Is it like kind of the off season and you're like, I want to do a little cross training? Great. This is exactly the kind of positive stress that will help you grow, okay? Looking for those new experiences. The other thing is that when you push past your comfort zone into a growth zone, you're fostering a growth mindset. This is so key because this is encouraging you as a rider to view setbacks and failures in quotes, as opportunities for learning, all right? And opportunities for improvement rather than just insurmountable obstacles. And this cultivates a sense of resilience, adaptability, and this enables you to thrive in adversity and overcome your challenges with grace and determination. And the other thing is that when you can learn to embrace challenges, this is absolutely going to add to your overall satisfaction and enjoyment and fun factor with your horse, because it feels so good when you do something hard, right? Like you just feel so good inside. You can think of it as a thrill, like a sense of pride, that personal growth and accomplishment that comes from doing something hard. When you step outside your comfort zone and you do something, it feels so good inside to do that. And it makes you feel so much more happier and satisfied, like with all the time that you're spending with your horse. And that sounds amazing to me. So I hope that sounds amazing to you. Okay, so we've talked about the comfort zone trap, what it is, why we don't want to be stuck there. We talked a little bit about positive and negative stress. And so I just want to touch on embracing discomfort. I'm pretty big on this. And it doesn't mean that it's not uncomfortable in the moment. Like, I'll admit, I'm missing my own bed tonight. I can be a bit of a diva. And, my room is just the way I like it. And my bed is how I like it. And this chair that I'm sitting in is kind of making me hunch over a little bit. And it's kind of uncomfortable. But this is an example of this exact moment for me right now of embracing discomfort. Okay. I'm recording in a different spot. I'm recording in a weird chair and we're just doing it. And I do that with my horse, right? I trailer out a lot with that dude. We go to new arenas. We go for lessons. We go just to hang out with my friend and do a ride, go on a trail ride. And so I really encourage you to just find those ways to embrace discomfort, because that discomfort is a catalyst for growth. I'm starting to ramble a little bit and I apologize, but discomfort is so often viewed as a negative sensation to be avoided. But in reality, discomfort is a natural and necessary part of the learning process. So I really want to encourage you to embrace discomfort as a catalyst for growth. It can change everything for you when, instead of being like, oh, I don't like this feeling, I don't love the ground in this arena, or they're watching me ride, or I don't like driving my truck, or it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too dark, it's too late, it's whatever. Instead of being so focused on how terrible your discomfort is, change. If you can adopt a different mindset to say, I'm so excited. This discomfort is a catalyst for my growth. This discomfort is making me stronger, making me a better rider, making me mentally tougher. My horse and I are growing, right? This is so key, guys, to reframe your perception of discomfort as an opportunity for learning, for development, personal transformation, okay? And when you step outside your comfort zone and you confront your challenges head on, you get to expand your skills, build resilience, and unlock your full potential as a rider. So embracing discomfort, it allows you to break through barriers, overcome limitations. And this is how you're going to get to the next level of performance and mastery. I know it can still really suck in the moment, but oh my gosh, it helps if you feel like it matters. And it does matter. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. But when you know that it matters, it makes it a little bit easier to do. So all of this to say is that this is some of what I learned from a year of waking up at 4 a.m. to drive to horse shows at facilities I'd never been to before with a new horse, to do patterns that I didn't get to practice the night before. And, it was good for me. Honestly, it was so good for me. It helped me to feel so much more confident. I knew that I could do that. I knew that I could navigate. I knew that I could handle strange arenas. I'm really good at finding the bathroom when I get somewhere, but I could do all that. That my horse and I were a team, that we could load up in the dark, we can unload in the dark, that we can show up at a new place, that we can get focused, we can warm up in the arena, we can figure out, sometimes you just had to trot right in, and I didn't even have a chance to check out the arena ahead of time. That was scary and hard, and it made me stronger. It made me a better rider. It made me a mentally tougher person. And it doesn't mean that it's not great to show up the day before, but embrace the discomfort, guys, okay? You are not stressed enough in your life. And just know that there's a comfort zone trap. The comfort zone has its limitations, and we need to push past those. Stress absolutely has a role in your growth, okay? Positive stress is how you grow, how you improve. Embrace discomfort, and I can't wait to watch you soar. Thanks for hanging out with me. Oh my gosh, can't wait to talk to you guys again soon.
Hey there, friends. Nicole here. And I want to start by saying a huge thank you to all of you readers and subscribers of the Resilient Rainer newsletter and podcast. I am truly honored and grateful for the thousands of you who make up this amazing community. Also, guys, I am so excited about Resilient Rainer Academy because I get so many questions about confidence as a rider. This is just one of the biggest blocks I see that riders run into that is blocking them from leveling up and really unlocking their true potential in the saddle. So, because I want to give you guys as much as I can, I have been creating this amazing course that I am going to drop in the next month here. So if you're interested in this, I'm putting up a wait list so you can be first notified as soon as it goes live. ResilientRainerAcademy.com. You can get on the wait list, and I'm going to put it in the show notes, okay? I am just so excited to give this to you guys. I can't wait to see the improvement and the amazing impacts it's going to have for you and your horses. Sending you guys all of my love, happy trails, and go ride your horse.